And this is Premier League Week 7. Now, the first 6 weeks, it's been an absolute minefield. It's tin helmets on. Honest to God, it could not have gone any worse for the majority and especially myself. So we expect the unexpected. So we're going to have to move gears. We're going to have to try and look and try and get value so that if you get one right, it might pay for the 3 you get wrong. And I will put the records up in a while because it's just grim reading. But luckily enough, in Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga, we are doing very, very well. And this is now going to turn round, I'm sure. I've got Matt and I've got Martin. But first of all, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button, ring the bell. Ring the bell means that we'll notify you. With the clocks moving, I understand they're going to move in the States next week. They moved in Europe last week. So make sure you do not miss a show just because you haven't subscribed. And if it is your first time, remember you're our third guest. So come in and let us know that this is your first time also. And at the moment, it's a team game. You need to be giving us your plays, your bankers, and press the link in the description. That'll send you over to the articles, maybe written by Martin or Dave or Tan or Alex or anybody else on any of the sports we cover on SBR. I want to come to you first, Martin. You look like you've been bandaged up a bit from last week.
It was a horrible weekend. You know, every all the teams that should have played well just didn't. Everton forgot how to score. Arsenal couldn't beat a totally understrength Leicester side. It was an absolute bloodbath from a betting perspective. A lot of people I've spoken to had a really tough time of it. A lot of results didn't go our way. A lot of teams drew a blank, which was very surprising when it's been a real goal fest in the opening 5 weeks of the season. To suddenly tail off was a bit of a shock, but hopefully we'll get back on it this week and rack up those profits again.
I like the way you said that. Most people, everybody I've spoken to who bet Premier League have said that it's been so horrendous because I believe that probably the Premier League more than any other league in the world is a passion-led home crowd. And we've not got that. So all of a sudden we've got sloppiness. So teams who should be keeping clean sheets. And then we've got other teams that are scoring when they wouldn't normally. And it's like, unbelievable. Matt, how did you find last weekend?
I ended up making a little bit of money, actually. You know, it was enough to maybe go to the fast food store and pick up some chicken nuggets or something like that. But it wasn't the steak we were hoping for. So I'm ready to break this one down. Yeah, some decent looks. At least we're getting some consistency now, you know, without the international break. I mean, I know that that's going to be coming back into play here shortly. But, yeah, we're getting some consistency, and hopefully we can find some winners this week.
Cool. Hopefully, honestly, I have gone really, really left field, and I've gone just value and try to just make sure that I am on the right side. Can we put up this painful record, please? There you go, Martin, minus 3.55. That's not bad. In fact, that's like winning at the moment. Matt, 3.95. Flash, 13.2 down. That has got to change, and very, very quickly. And the team parlay is holding us up at plus 1.35 of units and 19.35. Now, we don't want to smash that in 1 week, but we certainly want to start repairing it. And it's a tough game to start with as well. I'm going to come to you first, Martin. It's Wolves plus 100. Wolves killed me the other day. Killed me, 89th minute. Rui Patricia not lining his wall up properly, and I knew that it was going to happen. Draw plus 240. And Crystal Palace at plus 340.
Yeah, this is probably going to be one of the less entertaining games of the weekend. Two teams that don't particularly take many risks. Zaha would be the man for Crystal Palace to make anything happen, but you very rarely see them go for it. And Wolves are probably the least entertaining side in the division right now. I mean, they play good football. They've got some good players, but they just don't create enough chances, and they don't really display a great deal of ambition. They're just very happy to sit back and try and sneak a 1-0 victory. It's successful for them, but yeah, a bit difficult from an entertainment perspective, and also pretty difficult from a betting perspective, this one. Can see why people would bet on Wolves, but you know, Crystal Palace are a decent side and they might be capable of an upset. Have to pass this one.
Okay, it's a pass for you, Martin. What about you, Matt? Do you see any value?
Yeah, I'm going to go right back to the well. Last week I cashed on a Wolves halftime draw, and it's something that, you know, for the last, I don't know, 8 months or so has been really profitable. Why not go back to it here? I see Palace kind of trying to match up with Wolves, similar formations, similar ways of wanting to play the game, and it leads itself to believing that Wolves should, it should be second half kind of Wolves. If you want to play Wolves, I would play it with the draw at halftime and Wolves second half. I lean Wolves, but yeah, my money is going to be on the halftime draw. I found that at plus 105 or 2.05.
I've just gone with the straight draw at plus 240. I can't split these two sides, and I'm not going to get away and try and complicate it. I've just said to myself, I can't split them. I know all about Wolves. Yeah, they run the clock. Honestly, if it was an NFL game, they would just have a run game and they don't pass over the top. So for me, I'm looking at this game being maybe 1-1, maybe even 0-0, but I'm thinking draw at plus 240, and then I'll take a view maybe with 10 minutes to go, because if there's a goal that can come and beat me, it will come and beat me at the moment. So I'm feeling sorry for myself, but at plus 240, I'm happy to start the game. Looking at Wolves Palace being a draw. We go to South Yorkshire for the next game. Matt, I'm going to come to you first. Sheffield United plus 900, draw plus 500. And Man City, who killed us last week, at minus 300.
Yeah, so in this one, I'm looking for the lineup that I really want. I want Laporte in. You could see in the Champions League what happens when Laporte's in and paired with Diaz. They really dusted Marseille off the pitch in the Champions League, and they are such a different team when he's playing. I didn't really like the look of Sheffield last week against Liverpool. I thought they got a really lucky and fortunate penalty early on. They really didn't create enough for me. I know that now Fabinho's an injury doubt. I mean, that's a different game that we'll get to later. But still, I think that Jurgen might have pulled off kind of another potential ripoff on Ryan Brewster. I'm not a real big fan of the young guy. He didn't look good at all against Liverpool last week and was yanked I think around the 55 mark. They paid a lot of money for him. He's going to need to produce and produce in games like this. If City give me the right lineup here, it should be City by a margin. City minus 1.5 at minus 110 is my play.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, that seems great, but Sheffield United don't get tonked by anyone, Martin.
No, they didn't get beaten too badly by Liverpool. Didn't get beaten.
Or Arsenal.
By Arsenal, that was 2-1, wasn't it? I think
they're losing by the one goal.
Only lose by one goal, don't they? But I agree. I kind of agree that Man City should be far too strong for them in midfield. Let's not forget, this is a Sheffield United team that have only taken 1 point from 6 games so far. It's pretty dismal stuff. They're looking like they're going to be in for a real relegation battle this season. I agree that if Man City put out the right lineup, especially going forwards, I think they can get the job done. I'm not sure. I didn't put it as one of my official plays, but I'm certainly also looking at Man City minus 1.5.
I think you've got to look at the lineups in between the Champions League games, because you know that the focus is on the Champions League. So for me, I obviously just didn't go near it. This is another game. We said last week that it will be a very tight and horrible game, Burnley versus Spurs. Well, this week they entertain another London side, and it's Burnley plus 550, Martin, draw plus 375, and Chelsea at minus 190. Now, Man United, Chelsea, for me, player on player, was far superior to Man United. So I went with Chelsea to win the game. I also went with both teams scoring over. And how the referee doesn't give a penalty when Maguire is absolutely killing Azpilicueta, doesn't go to VAR, I don't get my penalty, and I don't even get one goal.
Yeah, I think they had a real cause for complaint there. Frank Lampard, he was very upset about it, and very surprising that it didn't go to VAR. Maguire got away with one there. Yeah, Chelsea are a really difficult team from a betting perspective. They're great on paper. They often demolish teams. They did fantastic in the Champions League this week. Every time I bet on them, they seem to let me down. So I'm a bit nervous about it. I do think Chelsea will win. It's just difficult because Tottenham only got a 1-0 win at Burnley, and I think everyone expected Tottenham to thrash Burnley, but they're quite a stubborn old team. So it could be looking at a low-scoring victory for Chelsea here, which makes it difficult. Maybe if you're going Chelsea and unders, perhaps, or maybe if you think that. I don't know, maybe if you think that Burnley can only lose by a goal, you could give them a bit of a plus handicap. Not sure. Going to pass this one.
I thought it might be both teams to score and over. Maybe Chelsea could run out 3-1 winners. The big thing for me is I look at this Chelsea side and I think they've got Champions League players because individually they can all do a bit and they seem more at home with that type of tempo. But in the Premier League, they just don't defend, and it's almost like the ugly side of the game that they're not adverse to. Matt, do you see Burnley scoring here?
So I'll be paying attention to the lineups in this one again, and I think that that's something that we just have got to let the viewers kind of really hear out, because that's what's been so difficult, I think, thus far, is just so many unexpected lineups, really, when we're betting on these teams, 3-4 days prior to. I want to see Thiago Silva in this lineup for Chelsea. I really do. He didn't travel to Russia to play against Krasnodar, and I really don't trust Rudiger in that defense really as a replacement against this Burnley team like that are going to throw balls into the box. But I see it as a similar game last week. I had Tottenham in the under 4.5 at minus 110. This is Chelsea in the under 4.5 at minus 105. I just am not willing to back Burnley right now. They're not doing it for me. It looks like I saw some reports today that they might have a big takeover by a billionaire, I believe. I don't know where from, but looks like they might be getting taken over. But at least Chelsea looks solid. I really want to see Silva in this lineup, though, I have to say.
I'll tell you how bad my week's been. I've just leant over to get me coffee and realised I've left it on my desk in the office. Honest to God, I can't even get a result on my coffee. What is going on? Liverpool minus 250, Matt. Draw plus 450, and West Ham at plus 750. West Ham have scored 3 times more than anybody else so far. I still can't see how that happens.
So in this one, it sucks really right now to talk about it because we don't know if Antonio is going to be fit. And Antonio is a player that needs to be in this lineup. He scored 10 goals in his last 13 Premier League appearances. I mean, the guy is on fire, maybe more so than just about any striker in this league. He needs to be in this game. I think if he plays, it's a Alex Classic all the way. And I really want to start backing Liverpool matches with both teams to score and Liverpool to win the game going forward. But it's just not here right now with so much uncertainty. I think it's Alex Classic, though, written all over it if Antonio plays. If not, you might need to twist another way.
Martin, the big thing with Liverpool is having the Champions League, especially with so many of the big guns in Europe not firing. It's one of those. We have to look at the lineups. But I know I think that Liverpool could run away with this Premier League the way the things are happening if they play the right players. Now, a few of them were rested in midweek. So I'm wondering if Liverpool give West Ham a hiding here.
Yeah, I just think they've got real problems at the back. Obviously, Virgil van Dijk's out for pretty much the whole season. He's their leader in defence. Joel Matip's out. For me, he's their second best defender. And they've been deploying Fabinho further back. Now he's injured. That amounts to an injury crisis. That's the spine of your team ripped out against a team like West Ham that can't stop scoring at the moment. I agree about Michail Antonio, but I do think they've got enough quality in the team to get on the score sheet regardless. Due to the problems that Liverpool have got back there. For me, I feel like Liverpool have to go for a bit of a different approach and really go all out attacking games, because that's where their strength is now. They've still got world-class forwards, bit of a struggle at the back. So I'm hoping to see them in lots of entertaining games going forward. Very impressed with West Ham at the moment. So has to be both teams to score for me in this one.
Okay, well, Jordan Kane saying he's going for Souček to score any time, plus 500. Go on then, Jordan. We'll be cheering that one on for you. Now, Villa, plus 150, Martin. Draw, plus 255. And the Mighty Saints at plus 180. I can't split these two sides. So it's like, do both teams score? Southampton go there. They could be 2-0 up in 20 minutes, and then the game is finished. How do you see it, Martin?
I think the Mighty Saints can go there and get a result. It's another phenomenal turnaround. Last season, they got hammered by Leicester and then went on an amazing run of fixtures. This season, they got hammered by Tottenham. And since then, they've taken unbeaten in 4 games, winning lots of matches. Danny Ings is playing well. They've just got a lot of quality. They're quite a understated team. Not too many superstars, but they gel very well. They've got a very good manager. I think Aston Villa obviously came flying out of the blocks this season, but I still feel like they're a bit overrated by the bookmakers just because of the start they had. I'm not sure they're quite as good as the prices suggest on them, despite having Grealish and Barkley in midfield, who are decent.
Yeah, they've got a decent midfield now.
They have got a decent midfield, but I think Danny Ings can hurt them. I think going forward, Southampton, and they've got a good spirit about them. Southampton, they never say die. Very impressed with that 3-3 draw against Chelsea they picked up the other week. I think they can go there and get a result at Villa Park. So I'm siding with the away team in this one with draw no bet.
I am. James says that Southampton win to nil is plus 500. I mean, the thing is with Southampton, they're scoring most weeks, Matt. So you're looking at this and thinking, Alex Classic, but then they've kept clean sheets. I mean, last week against Everton, I know Everton went down to 10 men, but Southampton bullied the game against probably the form side in the Premier League.
Totally. I think that the Southampton win to nil at plus 500 isn't the worst look in the world. But yeah, it's a game for me that I side with Martin here. I think the wrong team is favorite here. I think that Southampton should be the favorites in this match. I really do, especially at a neutral site is kind of what I'm calling this. And I think that Southampton and Leeds have a very similar blueprint to how they want to play in this league. Leeds, they completely crushed Villa off the park last week. If I get any kind of decent performance out of Southampton, I think that they should be able to take something from this game. I've gone with a slightly different angle, Southampton plus a quarter. So if it does draw, I would win half my stake. That is at minus 130 is what I found it at.
Minus 130. I tell you what I might do with this game. I might watch and see what the first 20 minutes is like, because that's what Leeds did. Leeds just frustrated, and then just hit them on the break as Villa became more and more desperate. This next game is a bit of a tricky one for most, because 2 weeks ago you wouldn't have seen Everton at plus 100. So it's Newcastle at plus 320, draw plus 260, and Everton at plus 100, Matt.
Yes, not one that I'm really interested in this week. This is something that I'm kind of far off on. Everton are dealing with some injury issues, and Digne, who's been one of their best players probably this season, he gets the red card late on, or I guess kind of in the middle of that match really against Southampton. But they have some injury concerns, and I don't really want to back them at this price. I think it's kind of a trappy line. I would rather be on Newcastle at like a draw double chance or something if I had to play it.
Okay, so we're looking at maybe a dull game, Martin. The thing is with Newcastle, don't have enough shots on goal. They're workmanlike. And the reason I went with Wolves last week was because there's no John Joe Shelby. When there's no John Joe Shelby, there's no forward passing from midfield, so you're not going to hurt the opposition. So do you favour either side here?
No, I don't favour either side, to be honest. I think Everton's defence does give me cause for concern. They had a great start to the season, but I was always expecting them to run out of steam at some point, just because they may have toughened up in midfield, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin's on fire right now, but I still have big issues with their centre-backs, and lo and behold, they lost 2-0 to Southampton last time out, and I do think that Newcastle can get on the score sheet in this one. Both teams to score has paid off in each of Newcastle's last 5 games. Obviously, it didn't pay off in the last Everton match, which everyone was very surprised about, but in all their other matches so far this season, both teams to score has come in, so I can't look past that really. BTTS for me.
Okay, both teams to score. Austin, Newcastle, draw all the way. I'm loving that, Austin, because this is my banker of the week. I've gone with Newcastle Everton, draw at plus 260. I said I was looking a little bit left field, and I'm going to get value just to make sure that if I just get one right, I'm going to be in the money. And Newcastle Everton is my banker. I've gone with the draw. Gone a bit left field in the next one as well, and you're going to love this, Martin. Man United at plus 115, draw plus 265, and Arsenal at plus 240. Now, we get Arsenal, draw a blank at home to Leicester. Man United, draw a blank at home to Chelsea. Then they go into Europe. I expect Arsenal to score a few, and Man United score 5. How does this game work out?
RB Leipzig had only lost twice all year, and I thought they could go and get a result at Old Trafford last night. Lo and behold, Man United blew them away 5-0. What an impressive performance just after that game in the Parc des Princes as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a knack for just getting these amazing results whenever his job seems to be at risk, and he just keeps on soldiering on. Fair play to him. Very, very, very disappointed with what I've seen from Arsenal in recent weeks. Just such a lack of ambition going forwards, even when they're trailing in games. They didn't even have a shot on goal after they went 1-0 down against Leicester last time out. And I think, fair enough, Arteta's made them a lot tougher to break down. They never get hammered anymore, but just really disappointing to see how little spark they've got in attack and how little creativity they've got in midfield. So I would be leaning towards Man United in this one, but I can't trust Man United either because they have too many dodgy results. So I think just avoid it from a betting perspective and just watch it like that during the match.
Yeah, I was close to going with a draw here, Matt. I just thought that I'm not going to walk into a door twice in a week. I went with Chelsea last week. I went with goals, and it ended up being a bore draw 0-0 because Chelsea were happy with the point. I'm wondering if Arsenal are going to be happy with a point as well.
I think they would be. I think that United, the market is starting to move, and United are getting shorter and shorter, and I'm not really interested in that. I kind of talked about last week. United step up with PSG. They stepped down a little bit to Chelsea. I couldn't agree more with you, Flash. I thought we were really hard done. I went with a rare value type of selection. I should have gone with probably the more sensible one and Chelsea draw no bet in that one. But I went with Chelsea in over 1.5 in that one. They looked so much better. That should have been a penalty. And here we go again. It's a very, very similar matchup here. If I had to play this game, I would stay away from the sides and I would play the under. I think that just Arteta, the way that he's been setting up on teams, it leads to the under. I believe the under 2.5 is coming in at a ridiculous rate under Arteta and Arsenal. And let's get it straight here too. Arsenal's XG right now is really, really poor. I think they're averaging like 1.2 goals or something. I think they're getting about, I don't know, a maximum of 8 shots a game or something. It's not good what they're doing in front of goal with all of that talent that they have. I'm sure Martin would touch on that and rather have them kind of open it up a little bit more. But this doesn't feel like the game that they're going to do that. I don't see Arteta wanting to open up here. So I would be on the unders if I had to play it.
Well, it's funny because I am on the unders. I've gone right against it, and I can see back-to-back 0-0s and maybe a 1-1. I mean, the only downside, maybe draw half-time would be on the cards as well. But I think Man United, different personnel. We know that we might have a few suspensions. So, yeah, I've gone under 2.5 goals, which maybe I'll have egg on my face when it's like 3-2 or 4-3. Now, Spurs minus 150, Matt. Draw plus 300, and Brighton at plus 470. How Brighton never put West Bromwich Albion to the sword on Monday night, I will never know.
Yes, I didn't watch that one, but I went back and saw the highlights, and I thought that Brighton should have got the job done again. But really, in the second half, they were getting punished a little bit, and I fear for them here. I really do. I don't think that Dunk is ready to go yet, and Spurs are in form. I would find a way to back Spurs here. Minus 150. I think it's minus 160 now. I have no problem with anyone taking that. If you want to find some value, I think that maybe both teams to score and Spurs to win, because I still don't trust their defense fully. And I do like what Brighton can offer in attack. So Spurs and over 1.5, both teams to score and Spurs. They've got to be probably on your card, though.
Okay, Manny Rodriguez says, it's the first time catching you guys. Listen, it's great to have you, Manny. We appreciate everybody. Whereabouts are you from, and have you subscribed? Because if you haven't, then subscribe and we'll let you know and you'll not miss any shows again. Martin, I can't have Spurs. They are limping for me. I said last week that I don't expect them to blow away. I went with the unders. Burnley weren't official, and they get the job done late on because of their firepower.
Yeah, I just don't really know what's going on with Brighton, to be honest. They play such good football. They look really, really good on the ball every time I see them. Trossard looks quality. I like the look of Lamptey going up and down that right wing. They just can't turn it into results. They just don't get the luck of the rub of the green. They're not clinical enough in front of goal either. Morpay's not putting them in.
Oh, that's the one.
And I do think they're going to miss Lewis Dunk in this game. He's still suspended. They play with that back three anyway, and a back three against Tottenham's a bit dangerous with the way that Son Heung-min cuts in. Maybe Bale will start. If not, there's Lucas Moura. That's a very devastating attacking triumvirate for me, and I think they should have too much for Brighton in this game. So Spurs in the over 1.5 goals for me.
See, if I'm going to Spurs and I want to frustrate them because you know that later on in the game you're going to get like a better chunk of possession and things like that, and I think that it could be they could dominate the Tottenham midfield late on if it's like 0-0, a little bit like what West Ham did. If I'm playing a back three, I pull my fullbacks and I make it a 5. So I'm almost going to play a 5-4-1 and rely on a bit of pace and movement on the break. I mean, draw half-time here, I thought could be on the cards. A lot of people expecting Tottenham to blow them away. But I'm thinking that Brighton are good tactically. They're together. They're good athletes. So they could be draw half-time, but I'm going to have to leave it alone just because Spurs are involved.
Okay, can I touch on one thing too? Sorry.
Yeah, of course you can.
I just looked at the prices, and Son, anytime goal scorer, plus 130. The guy's on fire right now. 2.3 doesn't look like a terrible shot. I mean, the guy he's lighting it up right now.
Yeah, and we like him as well because he's just good for the game. Okay, Fulham plus 150. Martin, draw plus 240. West Brom plus 200. Both of these sides, whenever you get two sides like this, they both fancy they can get something out of the game. So for me, Martin, I'm not complicating it. I've set my stall out. It's my third draw at plus 240.
Yeah, I thought you might say that because two bad teams, if you can't split them, go for the draw. That would be my play if I was going to go for anything on this match. I think these teams are finishing in the bottom two places of the table this season. Can see Fulham finishing bottom and West Brom finishing 19th. West Brom do have a bit more about them. They've got a bit of pace going forward, especially hitting teams on the counter-attack. I think they're a better side, and probably they've got a much more experienced manager. So if I was leaning towards either team, it would be West Brom. But I like your draw. I'm passing.
Yeah, I think both teams to scores on the cards as well, Matt.
Yeah, it definitely could be. This is one that I was quickly able to glance over with ease. But when I hear you guys talk about it a little bit and I look at this the prices, I think that West Brom would be where I would go here. They were looking really good in the second half in their match against Brighton and Hove, and Fulham have not impressed at all. Their offense looks really, really boring, and it's not producing clear-cut chances. But again, I think that the draw here, it's the biggest price. Can't really split them. I think it's a good look.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's back-to-back draws for West Bromwich Albion. 1-1. I see a little bit more from a little confidence is starting to grow, even though the results are not going their way for Fulham now. Good game this. Leeds plus 150, draw plus 260, and Leicester massive plus 170. If I said Leicester minus 110, then you'd think, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. But Leicester at plus 170, Matt?
So I think the bookies have this one right. I think that Leeds should be the favorite. I trust Leeds more than I do Leicester right now. I don't care that I lost on Arsenal last week. I thought I was again hardly done. I was hard done really. I've been hard done a lot on some games this year, but I just don't see it from Leicester. I still don't. I don't trust them. I thought it was great smash and grab stuff from them. Rodgers, he pulled off a masterclass last week. You've got to tip your cap to where it's due, and Brendan Rodgers really did a great job last week. But that's because Arsenal can't create chances. They really struggle to create chances. Now you're coming up against a team that are creating chances by the boatload. And they're not just half chances. They are clear-cut, goal-scoring opportunities. Leeds draw no bet here looks fantastic.
Yeah, I wrote that down as it goes. Leeds draw no bet, and also the Alex Classic of both teams to score an over. I'm wondering if Leicester are going to be dangerous like they were against Man City. And I'm going to look at Leeds, who just never say die, keep going front foot, keep going positive. I just see maybe both teams scoring and the over, Martin.
Yeah, I'm going for both teams to score in this one. Hope it pays off. I keep worrying that Leeds are going to run out of steam at some point, but I think hopefully, they'll have had a week to rest, whereas Leicester are playing as we speak in Athens. So I think they'll be a bit tired from that game. It was fantastic smash and grab stuff from Brendan Rodgers at the Emirates last weekend. They just sat back, soaked up pressure, poured forward, scored, and then defended well. So fair play to them. He can't. Yeah, like Matt said, he can't do that against Leeds. They're a different team. Play a lot more ambition, throw men forward. I'm hoping to see an entertaining game. I'm going for. I'd be happy if the Alex Classic came in. I'm just going for both teams to score and under 5.5 for more value.
Yeah, under 6, I think I wrote down. Let's have a little look at this week's selections, please. Let's have a look and see what the boys have gone for. So Martin's picks, he's gone for Liverpool, both teams to score at -150. Southampton, draw no bet at +105. Go on the Mighty Saints. Newcastle, both teams to score, -137. Let's hope that's a 1-1 or 2-2. Spurs to win and over 1.5 at -114. And Leeds and Leicester, both teams to score and under 6 goals at -125. You go easy there with your under 6 goals, Martin. Matt's picks, Man City -1.5 at -110. That will be team selection, I guess, permitting. Wolves half-time draw, staple diet at +105. Chelsea to win and under 4.5 at -105. And the Mighty Saints get a vote again. It worries me when everyone thinks that Southampton are going to win away from home. Southampton plus 0.25 at -130. Then we go to the Draw King. Fulham draw +240. Newcastle draw +260. That's my banker. Man United under 2.5 goals +110. I thought it was great value. And Wolves draw at +240. Now, remember you're our third guest, so put some selections in because I've got to find a 2-team parlay now, or a 2-selection parlay. I'm going to start with you, Matt. What one do you want going forward?
Let's take a look here. I will go with, I think Martin and I think we're on the right side here. Let's take Southampton at a double chance.
Wow, Southampton double chance. Have you got a price for me?
I can find one.
Brilliant. Southampton double chance. And I'm going to go with you, Martin. What about Leeds, Leicester? Both teams to score. Let's not complicate it.
Sounds good. Yeah, if you're not letting me go with Spurs, I'll go for that one.
I'm not letting you go. You don't even want to go with Spurs. In fact, I can't even believe you've mentioned Spurs. Anyone in the chat? Let's have a little look. They're going with Bamford to score, ride the wave. I mean, yeah, listen, he's doing really, really well. He has enough chances with that team. That team do create. So what you got for double chance, Matt?
I have got, it is -177 on a double chance.
-177.
And yeah, you didn't let me go for Spurs last week. I just realized that. I said them last week, and you didn't let me.
But I also told you that Arsenal was a trap.
True. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, no. I thought
I saved it till last.
No, actually, yeah, you're right. I wanted to go with Arsenal.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
Now, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means we'll notify you. You'll never miss any content again. And with all the time zones changing, you need us to confirm exactly what time we're going to be on. Now, tomorrow, we've got La Liga. La Liga will be on at 12 o'clock Eastern time with Martin and Ewan from La Liga Lowdown. Some unbelievable value last week when Barcelona, Real Madrid come in. We had it covered every single which way. Also, press the link in the description. That'll take you over to the articles where the boys, they've write parlays for you at +250, +350. So go over there and enjoy. Everyone, have a great weekend. Thank you for all your support. Thumbs up, please, even though you're watching this at a later date. Martin, Matt, we need a good weekend. Come on us, and I'm on the draw. You take care.